What's up, guys? Today we've got another projector to check out. We have the brand new TCL A1s portable projector. And thank you to TCL for sending this over for me to review. As we can see here, this does come in a very handy dandy little carry case with a shoulder strap. Now, taking a look at some of the specs located right here on the back, this is rated at 600 ISO lumens. It is a 1080p projector. It's got 16-watt speakers built in. It does have a carry handle built into it as well. Digital keystone correction. You can move the image up, down, left, or right, horizontal, vertical. It does have Wi-Fi built into it. And you can also project an image from 45 inches up to 150 inches. This does have Google TV built in, and it also supports Dolby Audio. Now let's go ahead and get this thing unpacked and see what we get inside. All right, so this has a little pull tab here right in the front, and then you can open it up just like so. Inside we get some documentation, the power brick, the power cable, the remote control, and the batteries. And here we have the projector. It is fairly small. It does have that carry handle located on the top. This is made out of metal, so it does feel like it's made out of really nice quality. The ventilation is on the front, and also you can also see that the sensors are located on the front as well. Now, as far as ins and outs, you get the power inlet, one HDMI input, the IR sensor, one USB, and then you have the 3.5mm headphone jack on the opposite end. On the bottom, there is a threaded insert if you want to mount this on your ceiling or on a tripod. And on the bottom here, if you can see how this is raised up, the handle is raised up. However, if you push down on the handle, you can see how it pops out from the bottom here. So you can actually give it a little bit of a tilt. Or if you have a perfectly leveled shelf or stand, and you want it to be perfectly flat, you can push it all the way back down. All right, so since this is running off of Google TV, this of course has all of your popular apps such as YouTube, HBO Max, and also has Netflix as well. And as we can see here, since this is not a 4K projector, it only supports HD, but it will accept HD, Full HD, and 4K input and output it as 1080p. But it also supports HDR. So let's go ahead and just click on play. So once we have everything started, click on the settings button here. We're going to go under the picture settings, and then you can see that we have a few different HDR options. We've got HDR standard, HDR vivid, movie, eye protection, game, and then custom. So all of your major apps that do support HDR will play back on the TCL. As reference, I am projecting on a 150-inch screen, which is the largest screen that TCL recommends for this projector. It throws a pleasing image with nice color vibrancy for such a small projector, and the HD image has plenty of detail on tap. And this being a smart projector, it does have voice commands from either Alexa or Google. So by holding down the microphone button on the remote control, open up the YouTube app. You can give it a command like open up the YouTube app, and as you can see, it opens right up.
Which has long been the target of civil rights groups who have argued that no evidence of infection has been detected.
Excuse me. May I talk to that gentleman, please?
Hey, Scott, you've got a visit.
Mr. Ward.
Hey, you're lighting up. You want to see me?
It's not every man who saves the secretary of from a horde of flesh-eating monsters, earns the Medal of Freedom, only to end up
working at a burger joint. This is not going.
AI audio does lean more on the brighter side. Standard is more balanced with treble response and bass response. Movie mode will give you the richest sound. It does have a nice detail on the top end, plus it gives you the most bass. Music, a little bit less bass, although it does have some good detail on the top end. And then sport mode is the brightest out of the bunch with almost no bass, but it does have a bunch of trebles. So the audio is going to be brighter in the sport option. But for me personally, I would just keep this on movie mode so you get some nice detail on the top end and also some nice rich bass. Of course, if you want to get the best audio to match your big screen visuals, just hook this up to a soundbar or an external speaker. That'll give you the best experience out of this projector. All right, so here we are at the home page. This is the Google TV homepage, and it is running off of Android TV OS 11. As I'm scrolling through the menu, this is fairly snappy. I haven't noticed any kind of slowdowns yet in my time while using it. And if you want to add any more apps, you can go under the Add Apps section, which will take you to the Google Play Store. You can search for whatever you want. So if you want to get something else like HBO Max or whatever it is, you can search it through the Google Play Store. But let's first go through some of the projector's relevant settings and how to get everything set up once you get everything signed in. So let's jump into the All Settings menu here, and then we'll check out the projector settings. So the first option here is the focus options. We have the autofocus, which will automatically adjust the focus for you, or if you want to do it manually, you can do it manually here as well. And as you swipe the remote left and right, you can adjust the focus on the projector. Under Advanced, you can have the projector autofocus on startup or autofocus while moving. So if you happen to bump the projector, it'll automatically refocus the projector. Backing out of this, we'll jump into the image correction settings. Here is the auto keystone correction. So you can have this do it automatically, which is going to attempt to automatically straighten up to my projector screen. It did a great job of squaring up the image, or if you want, you can do it manually yourself, which is a really easy process. The next option here is zoom and shift. So by pressing on the remote left or right, you can zoom all the way in or then zoom all the way out. And this is a digital zoom. This is not an optical zoom. So keep that in mind. Go to image reposition. And now you can see that I can digitally move the image left and right. All right, so under the advanced settings, we have the automatic keystone correction at startup, auto keystone correction after you bump the projector or move it, and avoid obstacles will try to automatically digitally move the projector's image so that it is out of the way of the obstruction. And then auto fit screen will automatically run the fit to screen during the correction process. Here we have the Bluetooth speaker mode. So if you want to use this strictly as a Bluetooth speaker, you would go into the setting here. Under the advanced settings, we have a few different projection modes. We've got auto, here's front, which we have set up right now, front ceiling, rear, and then rear ceiling. So if you wanted to mount this projector on your ceiling and you have the appropriate mount, you can do that with this projector. Here we have the remote control settings. We've got the battery level, which is at 95%, and then the remote control version, which is on 0.10. You can give the projector its own specific name, quick speed up, which will automatically clear the projector's cache. So it'll speed things up if you're noticing that your menus are getting a little bit janky or a little bit slow. Then the next section here we're going to check out is the display and sound. So under picture, we have your brightness settings. Right now I have this on custom. You can put it on standard, eco mode if you want to dim down the projector and use less electricity. Then under custom, you can see you can choose whatever brightness level that you want. So this is at 1, and then of course plus 10 is going to give you the brightest image, which I think most people are going to keep it at. Under picture mode, we have standard, vivid, movie, eye protection, game, and then custom. So if you choose custom, you can adjust your contrast, saturation, color gain, and then gamma, which you do have normal, dark, and then bright. But for the most natural looking image, you're going to want to keep this on normal. And then under color gain, if you want to calibrate this projector, you can do that with the appropriate gear. But I do find if you are projecting on a large screen or a large wall, I find that vivid actually gives you the brightest picture. Typically, vivid will give you the brightest picture, but the most inaccurate colors. However, this is only a 1080p projector. It's a lifestyle projector. It's not meant to give you a reference quality image. So if you are projecting on a very large screen, this projector having only 600 lumens, you're going to want to get the brightest images possible. So vivid is going to give you that. Although if you want the most accurate picture, I would choose between standard or movie. Then the next section here is the sound settings, which you have a few different options here. And then under the expert audio settings, we have the auto volume control, which will try to keep all of the audio level no matter what you are watching. And then the last option here is the audio output. So for digital output, we have auto, bypass, PCM, Dolby Digital Plus, or Dolby Digital. So if you're using this into an AVR or a receiver or processor, if you want to get that full surround sound, you're going to want to keep this on bypass. Otherwise, you can just keep it on auto. And then we have the digital output delay. That is it for the projector's settings. Now this is an LCD projector, so you will get up to 30,000 hours of light output. As for picture performance, it is a 1080p projector, so you'll get full HD resolution anywhere you can point the projector at. The color is nice and vibrant and looked good from movies and casual gaming. I think the big selling point of this projector is that it is super portable and has everything built in for that big screen experience wherever you are. Now, if you'd like more information on the TCL A1s projector, I will leave a link for it down below in this video's description. As always guys, thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you again in the next video.